Hello, this is Gene Irwin, the founder of the 3D Business Launch Model. In this particular video series, we're going to talk to you about your 8-minute presentation and how it'll help you grow your business by learning how to make a presentation to all parties. For a new business owner of a startup, acquisition, or franchise, there is nothing more stressful than asking someone for money. That includes investors and clients. This brief video will help you present your request in the most successful manner possible and keep you on track during your discussion with the business owner or investor or business partners. The 8-minute presentation consists of determining only 4 answers to 4 critical questions. That's it. In your opening, to one or more people in the room, hello, I am Gene Irwin of the 3D Business Launch Model. We customize all of our solutions to meet each company's requirements. My purpose? My brief discussion with you today is to learn more about your company, products, and services and concerns, while I explain who I am, what my company does, and how we support you and your company's goals. Background: tell them about you, company, and product, but do it very briefly. Again, my name is Gene Irwin. As an engineer, scientist, business owner, and certified analyst, I've looked at over 3,000 companies to help acquire them. I'm able to quickly spot issues in other businesses that I can help improve immediately. My company works with clients worldwide, and our deliverable is always customized to your company. Our product provides you more efficient people, better product design and control, and of course, more profit as we help your company grow in all departments. Number 1, have the business owner or company exec introduce everyone else in the room. If it is just him or her, have them speak about themselves, company, and products and services. Then ask the following questions in the following sequence by saying, Mr. and Miss Executive, it will take about 8 minutes to explain why I'm here and how we can help support your business. Do we have that time right now, uninterrupted? Is there anyone else that you would like to have here for this conversation? At the end of our discussion, will you tell me if this is something you want to do? And if you like the anticipated results from working together, can we get started today? Now, I know you don't know what the costs are going to be, and neither do I, frankly, but assuming you like what we have to offer in terms of product, service, and cost, will you be available, or are you scheduled to be out of town for the next 30 days? What you're looking for here, folks, is an opportunity to work with the owner of the company or the business executive and make sure that he's available to you during the time that you need in order to help him understand your business and you understand his. Remember the 4 questions. Do we have time now? Is there anybody else? Is this something you want to do? Can we get started today? Internalizing the client reaction to the 8-minute presentation. The average small business owner receives unwanted calls several times daily, and in most cases will try to place you into a category to determine what to do about you. It is very important to understand the exacting difference between your ego, as displayed to the client, versus a professional air of supreme confidence. This initial 17 to 35 seconds on the phone are critical to the client's perception of you, your company, and then your product, service, or idea, so that you can ask the following questions. Do we have time now? Does anybody else need to be here? Is this something you want to do? Can we get started today? Explain to you the details of what your client or customer is thinking when he hears your questions as you present this 8-minute presentation. You and your client have 2 different goals. You want the customer to write you a check. The customer doesn't want to write you that check. You must understand that the client has several different and competing issues he or she must consider spending before agreeing to see you, let alone do business with you and your company. These issues include primarily these 3 major investments on his part: time, money, and effort, and who's going to support the project like a project manager. The more that you can take off of his plate and put on yours in terms of time capital and resource capital will go a very long way in making your relationship golden. To internalize the client's reaction, if we analyze what you are presenting to the client and how he or she might digest what it is you're conveying about these issues, time, money, and effort, then you are beginning to understand what his fears, uncertainties, and doubts are about you, about your product, as they might pertain to his. Your knowledge of the industry, market, your company, his company, your products, his products, will be on display immediately. You need to be an expert in his business as well as your own. Shown on this slide is going to be a box that represents the entire 8-minute presentation. Focus on the following issues. time now. Your prospect has given you permission to see him or her in an environment which is good for both of you, usually at his office, and the first thing you need to nail down is the courtesy and necessity of validating your high-level meeting time together. The second issue is there anybody else? You are careful to make sure you have the right audience. What you may not be aware of, however, is that they have already made that determination before you arrive, and you need to find out about that meeting, who attended, and why the persons in front of you are the right people you need to see. You need to be acutely aware of who you are talking to and what their agenda is. The third issue is this something you want to do? Meetings with potential clients, just like this high-level video training, is a process. You can't dump all of your goods onto the conference table and expect that your clients will know which pieces to pick up and in what sequence. You may just be the key they are looking for. Rehearse all of your concepts and test your assumptions of the client and their issues long before you arrive on site. Carefully consider all of their possible problems and opportunities and introduce them at the proper time. You will know when that is as you master the art of asking questions to lead you to their problems and proposal of your solutions. You want to start now. You will know when to ask this question based upon the demeanor of your clients in the meeting. You may find that you're confronted with junior managers who do not have the authority to say no. While you may think that statement should read yes, anybody can say yes to you, your company, and your idea. Only the ones with actual company authority can stop your project cold. That's exactly who you are looking for. I'm now going to present this material to you a little bit differently by using traffic signals to help you understand that you might run a red light if you're not paying attention to not only your questions, but the answers and responses that you get from your clients. Please be very aware of their body language as well. Before you see your client, you should already know why you're there and what your treasures are. By the same token, your client also has treasure needs, and you need to find out what those are. Think is the real reason you are spending 8 minutes talking with the business owner, the executive, the corporate manager, etc. The real reason you're there is to help him or her see how your solutions will fill their treasure chest, whatever that is for him and his business and his family. Just how are you going to do that? You're going to do that through a process known as communications. You're going to ask the client a lot of questions, and he's going to ask you some questions. You're going to ask a basket full of questions in order to know how you can solve his problems. Then you're going to run back and forth between your solutions and his or her needs and wants, so that both of you will agree on the best solution for both companies. Think of it as sort of running in place. Once you help your client to understand that you are serious about helping them solve their problems first, then you will position your solutions to benefit all. The rest of your presentation deals with implementation of your solutions into his environment. You may need technical support, financial support, or perhaps for higher level solutions that are not at your fingertips. That is why you must always know your authority. Find proper resources now. Client sees that these are the most advantageous solutions even if the price is higher or the product isn't perfect. He agrees to move forward. Finally get that handshake both parties want. Now he sees a way to reach his goals. You get a chance to reach your goals. That is, unless there's a communications breakdown. Something happened, either when you asked questions and didn't hear the correct answer, or you weren't listening, or perhaps they didn't have the answers that you were looking for, but something happened that caused the communications to fail. Now the very agreement we have with the business and the business owner or the investors is in jeopardy. Something has gone amiss. We need to figure out how to correct our relationship immediately while we're right in the middle of it. In other words, we need to find out what happened, and we need to find out quick. Well, the problem is simple. You ran a red light. Maybe you didn't realize somebody else needed to be there. Or maybe now is not the right time. The budget isn't ready. Or maybe they don't want to do this right now and they're just being kind to you. Or maybe they really can't start now for one reason or another. You ran a red light. You missed something in your conversation and your communication. But it's not over yet. There's still a chance to pull this out of the fire. Your communications are upside down. You missed some very important issue, and it could be as subtle as failing to listen to the delivery terms or payment terms. In plain language, you went over the line somewhere in your thinking and commitments, both to you, to your company, and to the client and his company. Let's figure this out. It is far easier to prevent these types of last-minute losses, or what I refer to as incomplete commitments, than it is to recover the relationship at this moment. But here are two suggestions that seem to work most of the time. When there's no animosity, you want to try and return to one of these. A. The moment the client hesitated and readdresses issues or concerns, or the strongest reason why the client wants your solution to his needs. Acknowledge your client's concern, don't ignore the issue, and have him tell you the ideal outcome using your product or service, and build common ground from which to continue to a win-win scenario. Think of this as a chess game. It takes many types of moves and counter-moves to solve the overall challenge. So does this. You can do it. Regardless of what the client said or what you think you heard, the real issues are always about money, how to pay for it, time, when to implement it, and effort. Who is going to manage this thing when Gene or the salesperson or the executive from the other company isn't here to do so? Who from our company is going to manage it and be on top of this? Those are their issues. Money, time, and effort. Every time. Those are the issues every time. Regardless of what you thought you heard, regardless of what they said, always. It is always about time, money, and effort. Well, this isn't rocket science, but it is a type of science and must be approached carefully and very methodically. Let me show you how. You can always communicate the following concept to your client. Mr. Client, it appears that I have overlooked something. In addition to what you just explained about holding up this well-defined path to success with our product, service, our idea, or consulting, what did I miss? P.S. If they answered this honestly, your immediate follow-up question will always be, if we can get that taken care of for you, and this for you, are there any other issues we need to complete before we can move forward together? You've got to ask the follow-up question. Thank you again for giving us the opportunity to help you and other executives, engineers, senior sales executives, and small business owners of a new startup, or perhaps an acquisition, or perhaps a franchise. The privilege to share with you the most successful way to increase revenues, profits, and repeat business, regardless of your product, service, or idea. Over my 35 years in business development, new product launches, and major contract awards, honesty in business has always been my mantra. If you elect to color or stretch the truth of your product, service, or ideas, it will come back to you in a very negative manner. I have always said that if you ask me a question that I don't know the answer, you'll become the second person to know because I'll be the first. As a business development executive, you must never compromise yourself, your company, or product. You will feel much better, your client will thank you for your integrity, and you will gain very strong repeat customers and referrals for years to come. Now go out there and present. Honestly, of course. If you have an interest in our 3D business launch model, send us an email or give us a call at 1-800-750-8767. We'd be glad to talk to you. This is Gene Irwin, founder of the 3D business launch model.